quarterback.
Oh, there's a goal.
At this rate, I'm just going to work a checklist as to what people will expect from the average Thursday night football game. 2 uninspiring teams that have struggled at some point this season? Check. A quarterback that broadcasters hype up as good but shits the bed? Check. Hideously questionable and/or blatant ref ball? Check. A total blowout? Check. The dread that this will keep happening because the NFL is making money off of it? Check. Rocktober seems to have ended early as he was exposed for the backup QB that he was. Ironically, against the team that threw tens of millions of dollars at him to suck. What should be more alarming to the Dolphins is how their defense turned into a collapsed lung faster than Lamar Miller bursting for big games. Deshaun Watson had a nice return to form with 5 touchdowns as, don't look now, the Titans win their 5th consecutive game. 6th if you count the officials. True, it's against teams that are terrible or set themselves on fire, but it's nothing to shake at. With how awful the AFC South is again, they could be in line for another embarrassing home playoff game. Never fear, you guys. Baltimore is here to show how elite they are against the Panthers. If we're talking about the antonym of that word, then yes, this is an accurate statement. Remember how great that Ravens D was? Cam Newton would like to have a word with you guys. A 17-point embarrassment of the Eagles wasn't enough to feed his appetite. He needs to further lord over the region. This is also aided by the Ravens imitating the telltale heart and revealing their offensive weak points to Carolina. Remember, it's always under the floorboard. That's where Joe Flacco keeps his football abilities. Baltimore once again looks mortal, and the Panthers cruise to a dominant victory. Now, only if the Saints weren't so good. I have some great news for you, Sam. No, the Jets are still awful and your receivers are dead. Khalil Mack isn't playing today. There will be a 20% less chance of your corpse being strewn on barbed wire. The good news is that Sam Darnold didn't die. He did, however, look as unready as ever as the Jets couldn't get off the ground against the Bears until roughly the 4th quarter. Even then, too little too late. The Bears get a much-needed win to boost confidence, and New York, well, at least you aren't the Giants? I hate to keep saying the same goddamn things about the G-Men, but they make it too easy. It's like I'm rewinding the string on a doll from last year. It's the same talking points, but with less sympathy for Eli and more realization that he needs to be all yellered. The Redskins barely had to lift a finger. Just don't sabotage themselves and they have an easy victory. My gauge for the Skins' opponents is the Alex Smith litmus test. If Smith is criticized by the talking heads and fans for relentless checkdowns and conservative play, the opponent is usually of quality. If Smith is hailed by announcers as a great game manager and leader of men, their opponent is pure shit and should be rightfully mocked. The results show the latter today. The Giants continue to sell everything off for shit value and realize that trying to compete was a total mistake. Enjoy your free victory to 5-2, Washington. Wait a minute, 5-2? I just want to take a moment and reminisce in the thinking that Detroit was something more than the relentless mediocrity that it has been for years. They got a sexy new run stopper named Snacks, for God's sake. This is their pivot towards bigger and brighter things. They were correct. They do get a bigger spotlight for us to laugh at them. Lions meet Russell Wilson and Chris Carson. They're going to obliterate whatever defense you may have had and morph this optimism into a lopsided affair faster than you can say Matt Millen. There's also that offense that chose to fall back into embracing narratives in the 4th quarter by choking away everything the first time they faced adversity. What was that about making noise again, Detroit? You disappoint me again, son. Get in the corner. There's a part of me that feels bad for Broncos fans. They have to deal with a bumbling imbecile as their head coach. A bumbling imbecile that can't find a quarterback with a damn. A bumbling group of imbeciles that are preparing for several coups to take control of the team over their ailing relative, and they also tease the shit out of their fans nearly every week. There will be these moments where you think the Broncos are about to turn the page, but nope, the next corner reveals a buzzsaw about to slice them in half. Such a weapon happens to be the Chiefs, whose offense looks nigh unstoppable at this point in time. Kareem Hunt takes your ambitions of playoffs and hurdles over them as if it was nothing. The only way you're going to beat them is if you outgun them, and Denver can't do it. That's 7 losses in a row against Kansas City now. Tune in next week as Elway keeps pretending that Vance Joseph is a quality head coach. I think I hear something baking, kids. Excellent. Another batch of Jameis Winston's pastries are here for opposing defenses to consume. The man is just so generous with them. He's a man of true morality. 4 interceptions given to his opponents once again. Unfortunately for him, such freewheeling is frowned upon by his team. Famous Jameis was benched in the middle of this blowout for the one and only man himself. Fitception. The magic is back again, baby. He's fucking slinging it like he's fresh off the bench for another starting quarterback's injury. Look at him deliver foolish optimism to the Bucs faithful again. Too bad this 18-point deficit is too great for him to come back from. Are you fucking kidding me, Bungles? Is there a lead that you don't piss away? Jesus Christ, no wonder you guys are irrelevant. Oh right, the Buccaneers D is the equivalent of cat piss. Cincinnati marches down the field and boots the winning field goal, allowing Tampa Bay to experience the joys of infighting in the locker room. You win this round, Bungles. You guys got lucky. Prepare yourselves for Tank Bowl! Two teams enter, only one comes out with a better draft position. Remember everyone, the key here isn't to win but to lose. In this affair, both of these trash heaps raced as far down the landfill as they could. From a football perspective, it was one of the worst games ever presented by the Shield in a very long time. If you had a misfortune of going to such a travesty, you should demand a refund for your time. Josh Rosen unfortunately didn't get the memo. He's leading his team to victory. Someone break his legs so the drive is sabotaged. Please, for the love of God!
One timeout left for Arizona. And here is Rosen into the end zone. Touchdown!
God damn it, Rosen, why did you have to choose now to flash your talents? You've cost the Cardinals precious draft position and allowed the Niners to dance into the night. Arizona may have won the battle, but the Niners have just won the war for Nick Bosa. Prepare yourselves for another Tank Bowl! This one is a tad more watchable than the previous iteration, if only because the offenses managed to do something. The name of this game was Awful Defenses, both teams imitating the swinging door at those old saloons, stopping nothing. Despite dealing with a battered squad and handless receivers, Andrew Luck showcased his talent and carried a rebuilding Colts squad to victory against a team that was thought of as a potential Super Bowl contender 15 months ago. The Raiders now have nothing. Just a bunch of old people and the rotting corpse of Derek Carr behind an awful offensive line. Don't worry, boys, you only have to pay John Gruden for another 9+ years. God, you are fucked. Aaron Rodgers is facing his greatest test yet, carrying the Scrubs LeBron style to victory over the football version of the Golden State Warriors, a true juggernaut named the LA Rams. Vegas has made him the biggest underdog in his career, but that's never stopped him. Throughout the match, Rodgers is going toe-to-toe with the offensive machine of Los Angeles. They may be mincing your D with shades of Dom Capers, but Green Bay is getting the ball back with plenty of time for Rodgers to work his magic.
Ty Montgomery decides to bring it out. And the ball is loose!
You had one fucking job, you guys. Don't fuck up. Little did we know that they can't even do that. The game on the line and you guys pull a Brandon Bostic on the kickoff and try to be the fucking hero. No wonder why Aaron Rodgers is pissed at this team. I wonder if he regrets that extension yet. Remember the last time the Saints played Minnesota? If you couldn't tell, game previews had at least 5 clips of this scene when talking about it. Little for Vikings fans, there was no miracle today. New Orleans slammed this game shut about as quick as Minnesota's Super Bowl hopes in January. Kirk Cousins ruined what was a great game for him by pulling his own Marcus Williams, throwing an ill-timed pick 6 to all but seal the game. Can we call this revenge? Not really, but something about moral victories and keeping the Panthers behind you. Just don't get cocky again, Saints. And here it comes, stumbling in from the right, the Buffalo inebriation meter, where the alcohol tolerance is somehow higher than this city's tolerance for the Bills. Who are they playing tonight anyway? The Patriots. Buffalo, you need to pregame harder than this to survive. Excited about the upside from last week's ineptitude, they have chosen to start Derek Anderson again. Complimentary shots at Bankers Club for everyone in attendance. Surprisingly, this game isn't an outright massacre as believed. The Bills D puts up a gutsy and valiant effort, and that's not because Josh Gordon was benched for a quarter for tardiness. They keep the game in check for 3 quarters. Such a performance shouldn't be wasted. You forget the sandbags they call an offense. This offense is so bad that watching it can be seen as cruel and unusual punishment. I feel that all football fans should have a mandatory conscription to watch this offense in action, as to witness what sheer pain looks like. They're the fat kid you pick last in dodgeball, the class dunce forced to sit in the corner, the cook that can't even boil an egg properly. Even then, this does not come close to describing such a travesty. And good news, Buffalo, Derek Anderson was mercifully injured by the Patriots. Now enters, oh jeez, it's Peter Mame. I feel the meter is going to die of cirrhosis before the end of the year. Patriots, you looked like shit, but here's your free win. And now, a moment of silence for all those we've lost over the past week.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
The football gods show no mercy. Amen.
He's going to outrace his blockers and outrace everybody. In the secondary he goes, and he will not be caught. Touchdown, Chicago.